Hi friends, I'm so glad you decided to join us today. We're going to have a great time today, and we're going to make something really wonderful. As I was thinking and preparing for today, I was wondering what I'd want to make and what I'd want to help you learn how to make. And then I thought, maybe somebody watching the show is a new vegetarian, maybe even a new vegan, and you want to learn how to cook something that tastes really good that others who sit at your table will love. Maybe you're preparing to cook for your family and you don't have a lot of time, but you want to make something really good. Maybe you're a husband and you're not really great around the kitchen, but you want to do something special for your wife. You want to make something that's really good. This is going to be the dish for you. Today, we're going to make a vegan tofu spinach lasagna with mushrooms. And I guarantee you, it's going to be something everyone who eats at your table will not only enjoy, but they'll ask for more, and they'll ask for the recipe on how you made it. So stay with us, learn how to make it, and enjoy. To make our vegan lasagna dish, here are the ingredients you're going to need to make this dish. First, we'll need a ½ pound of fresh mushrooms sliced. Then, we'll need some water, about 2 tablespoons. We'll need 2 jars of spaghetti sauce or your favorite pasta sauce. I like to kind of mix mine up. You'll need 10 ounces of frozen chopped spinach. You want the liquid out of it, so you want it thawed out. And then you'll need a pound of tofu. I like the extra firm, but firm or extra firm is fine. You want to make sure you don't get silken tofu. It won't work. You'll need 1 teaspoon of salt. You'll need 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. You'll need 1½ teaspoons of oregano. You'll need a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder. You'll need 1 teaspoon of basil. You'll need about 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary, and you want it crushed. If you can't find it crushed, then you can put it in a molcajete, a mortar and pestle, and grind it up, and that'll work just fine. You'll need 9 pasta noodles. Now, the recipe says that you can add in cayenne pepper if you like that spicy taste. I prefer without it, so today we're not going to make it with it. And you can also use soy parmesan if you like Parmesan cheese in your lasagna. So now, here's what we're going to do. First thing is we need to saute our mushrooms. And so we're going to do that with water. We're going to take our mushrooms and put them in the pan, and then we'll add a little water. And the water steams up and it'll evaporate out. But you want to get the mushrooms soft. And so you just put them in there and just watch your water level. Just kind of spread them out in the frying pan there. And then just cover them up so that all your moisture doesn't get out. The next thing you want to do is you want to heat up your pasta sauce. So the next thing we'll do is we'll take our pasta sauce and we'll just pour it right into our skillet. Well, we're a little hot there. So we'll take it off and we'll turn the heat down a little bit. And that should take care of that. Now, most of the time when you buy the pasta sauce, if you get it in a can, it'll say 24 ounces, but the recipe, you'll notice, calls for 26 ounces, two 26-ounce cans. Well, don't worry about that, because when you rinse out your cans or your jars of pasta sauce, you'll add the extra two ounces of water in there without any problem. You just put it in your skillet and just let it heat up. So our mushrooms are just here simmering a little bit. They're doing pretty good. And the next thing we want to do is we're going to deal with our tofu. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our tofu right in a mixing bowl here. And then we'll take our spinach, the frozen spinach that we thawed out and we took the water off of, and we're just going to put that right in the same bowl with our tofu brick. Okay. Now, this is why it's so easy, because now we just add our ingredients right in the bowl with the tofu and the spinach. Now, you'll see on the recipe that it says you can use a food processor or you can use a potato masher, and you just want to kind of just mix the ingredients up real good. I personally just use my hands most of the time, and it just depends on your preference. But you want to get the ingredients mixed up really well. One of the key things about using tofu is that you want to get as much water off of the tofu as you can before you start using it. Because when it doesn't have as much water on it, it'll absorb the flavors and the seasoning that you put in it much better. If you have a lot of water in it, you won't get as much flavor out of it. So you want to drain your tofu. The way I do that is I just take the brick and I fold up some paper towels, put it in the brick, put the brick in the paper towels and just kind of squeeze it for a while. It takes a few paper towels. There are some appliances. If you use a lot of tofu, you can buy one that's called a Tofu Express. It's a little plastic kind of container with a spring-loaded top that puts pressure on the brick, has holes in it, and the water leaches out of the tofu. You can just kind of leave it in your refrigerator overnight and in a bowl, and the water will just come right out of the tofu. So it depends on how you want to do it. Most of the time I don't plan ahead, and so sometimes I just use paper towels to do the work that I need to get done with getting the water out of the tofu. All right, so sometimes the spinach just kind of gets stuck in the potato masher. You can just clear it out, no problem. It's easy to do. And you just keep working it till you get a really nice blend of your ingredients. If you see white pieces of tofu, that means you haven't mixed it well enough. So just keep working with it until you get it to the place where the tofu, the spinach, and all your seasonings are well mixed in the bowl. Okay. In the meantime, let's check on our mushrooms here, see how they're doing. Looking pretty good. We'll just keep those on the medium heat there until we get our tofu all mashed up and ready to go. Now, the good thing about this recipe is that, if you are not really comfortable in the kitchen, you can just kind of take your time and work from phase to phase. While you're doing this mashing of the tofu and mixing, you want to take your oven and set it to 375 degrees, preheat it. Now, if you do that when you start, when your mix is ready, and after you've set up your dish, you'll be ready just to put it right in the oven. But if you're like me, most of the time I forget to do that, so after I do the mix, I have to wait for the oven to preheat. But, you do it however it works for you. There's no right way or no wrong way. It's your way. All right, so I think our tofu is pretty well mixed up here. And so now we're going to start our process a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our mushrooms and we're going to put them over in our pasta sauce here. Just take your spoon and just spoon them right in there. Now you'll notice when you're sauteing most vegetables, there's a lot of water in them, so the water will be added to it. So you're never going to really come up short, on your pasta sauce when it says 2 24-ounce cans. You're going to be fine. Not to worry about that. We can turn that one off, and we'll just stir our mushrooms right into our pasta sauce here. And I had the pasta sauce heating up, so that flavor will mix into those mushrooms while we're getting ready here. Okay. Now, I would like to get ready to set up our dish here. And this goes really easy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take about half of the pasta sauce we have there with our mushrooms and put it in the bottom of our pan. And the pan is about 9 by 12. It's your basic cooking dish, about a 9 by 12 dish. And that'll allow you to get 3 lasagna noodle pastas there lined up without any problem. You want a little space in between them. So we're going to take about half of our sauce and we're just going to put it right in the bottom of our dish. Okay. Now my wife tells me that if you make it one day and you're going to serve it the next day, it's always good to have a little extra pasta sauce left over so that you can put some on the top to keep it moist. I just like it, so I just eat it like it is. But now that we have the pasta sauce there, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3 pasta noodles, and we're just going to lay them right in the dish. We'll keep a little space in between them. Yeah, just like that. And we're ready for our next step, which is to take our tofu and spinach and we're just going to spread it out across the noodles. Now we're just going to use about half of our tofu mix here. Now, I generally add olives in it, but I forgot to bring them. So it works well with olives in it. You can put those in the mix, or you can just sprinkle them on the top as a dressing, and that works real well. So you want to make sure your pasta is covered with your tofu mix. Just make sure you get it covered real good. All right. There you have that. And then we're going to take 3 more noodles. 3 more of the pasta noodles here. And we'll lay them out right next to each other. And we'll sprinkle a little more of our tofu on there. All right. And the tofu will take on as a substitute for the ricotta cheese that you would normally use in your dish. Okay, so you got that there. And then we'll take our last 3 noodles, lay them out like that. And I like to just sprinkle the last little bits over the top here, even though I think the recipe doesn't call for it, but I like it that way. So you make it however you like it. Okay. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the rest of our pasta sauce here, and we're just going to ladle it right over our noodles and our tofu here. Turn our heat off there. All right. And then we'll just spread that over the top here. Yeah. And this is where you could dress it a little bit with some of your olives if you wanted. You could just take some olives and slice them up and just, lay them over the top. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to take a piece of aluminum foil, and we just want to cover our dish with aluminum foil. And then we're going to take it and put in the oven that we heated at 375. And we're going to keep it in there for 30 minutes, and then we'll take the foil off, and we'll continue cooking for another 30 minutes after the foil comes off. Now, we're on our way to a great pasta dish. You're going to love the taste of it. So just hold your horses. We're going to get back to it. Okay, so you remember we had our lasagna in the oven with foil on it for the first half hour. And then we took the foil off and left it in the oven for another half an hour. Then we took the pan out and we put it here, and we just let it cool off for about 15 minutes. Now we have a little Parmesan cheese here that we'll sprinkle on, and then we'll get ready to serve some of this in the plate. I did want to also mention to you that one of the good things about using tofu for vegetarians and for vegans in specific is that tofu is a great source of protein. So you don't have to get protein from animal sources. You can get it from tofu. And tofu is really inexpensive. So now that we have our Parmesan on top of there, we'll just cut a piece here. And we plated a little salad. And we'll scoop that out. As you can see, that looks pretty nice, you know, but I'm going to tell you, it even tastes better than it looks. So we'll put that on there. And, you know, most of the time when I cook this at home, when we have guests over, I don't tell them it's tofu. They eat it and they think they're just eating with ricotta cheese. Now, I can't tell you that they're great connoisseurs of Italian food, but what I can tell you is they eat it up, they enjoy it, and when they ask me what I used in it, I tell them that I used tofu. They say, "No way." Yes, way. It's a great tasting dish. So let's see how we did today. We'll cut a little bit here, and oh, that's really good. You're gonna love this dish. Your friends and your family are gonna love this dish. And the biggest problem you're gonna have is that you'll probably make it too many times. But the more you make it, the better you get at it, the more you'll enjoy it, and you'll always have a go-to dish for any occasion that you wanna cook for your friends. So, enjoy your lasagna, enjoy good health, and stay tuned for another episode of Cooking Here with Some TV. God bless.